Imagine looking in the trash and you see a lottery ticket and you're like, I'll just pick this up. And it was a scratch off. And you go and you scratch off the last little icon on there because the person forgot to do that, and it's $1 million winner. What would you do? Keep it, right?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I mean, it was in the trash. It wasn't like somebody dropped it on the floor. It was the person actually threw it away.
Well, even if it was on the floor and somebody dropped it, I would still keep it. I told you I would do anything for $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million legit winner. Well, a store owner found it in the trash, saw the lady didn't scratch it off. It was $1 million winner. This is what he did.
I mean, I had a $1 million in my hand, and on the other hand, I wanted to do something good. And one evening, I was going through the tickets from the trash and outside, and I found out that she didn't scratch the number. And I scratched the number, and it was $1 million underneath the ticket. As soon as she came in, I handed her a $1 million ticket, and she freaked out and cried like a baby.
And there's no news. There's no news if she gave him any money at this point. But he had $1 million. She threw it away. She thought it was worthless, threw it away. I don't know how you'd forget to scratch off a number. She just totally forgot to scratch off one of the numbers.
Well, what happens if the person kept it? Like, if the person kept it, is it still theirs, or because somebody else bought the ticket? Because my first instinct would be to take it out of the garbage, and if I scratched it off and saw that I won the $1 million, I would wait a day and go somewhere else.
Go to a different place.
Go to a different place and just wait and say, yeah, I bought it.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
have to do that, or is this in the trash? Is that considered somebody else property that's, you know what I'm saying?
Do you have to legally return it?
Yeah.
That's a good question. And Mancus Matt read, I guess, both our minds. We do have official attorney Lisa Lanier on the phone. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. What a nice family these folks are to give this $1 million back, right? I mean, most people wouldn't do that.
I mean,
I don't think most people.
I don't think most people would do that at all.
No.
It's one thing if you saw somebody drop it. It's another thing it's been thrown away. They just, on their own volition, threw away the ticket. Now, like Jason was saying, I don't know if you could hear when you were listening in. Let's say that situation happened, you found it in the trash. Do you have to find out whose it is, or can you keep it?
So you were absolutely right. It makes a huge difference that it was thrown away, because where this happened in Massachusetts, they follow the majority of other jurisdictions with regard to property law. And there are three basic categories. There's lost property, mislaid property, and abandoned property. With lost or mislaid property, that property continues to belong to the true owner, even though they've lost it or mislaid it, because it was an accident, right? But abandoned property, which is thrown away, becomes the possession of whoever finds it and takes possession of it. So technically, this ticket, because she threw it in the trash, she intended to do that. And so technically, by the letter of the law, these folks could have kept that. They could have kept that ticket. But there are some wrinkles to it, because they do hold the license for the lotto in that, that's their store. And the lotto folks frown upon that kind of thing. They frown upon the owners, taking back tickets or, basically engaging in any sort of, they wouldn't want the owners to go in with people on tickets. And they can track by the numbers associated with those scratch-offs what store they were delivered to. So they would know. And if they came up and, and said, oh, look, we happen to have won. I mean, it's not illegal in most lottery commissions rules. It's not illegal for employees of the store to play the game, and that's actually pretty common. You work there, you buy some tickets. And this particular family that owned the store had a lot of relatives who worked there. And so, easily they could have probably gotten away with it by saying that, hey, my son bought this ticket and look, it won. So very nice of them to do that.
Or I was thinking, well, you made me aware of two things. If I ever see a lottery ticket on the ground, to immediately say I found it in the trash. The second thing is, let me ask you though. Let's say, for instance, I dropped a lottery ticket that was $1 million on the ground, and somebody came along and threw it in the trash. I accidentally left it on the ground. Somebody else picked it up and put it in the trash. Somebody picks it out of the trash and finds it's $1 million. Is that still mine originally because I mislaid it, as you said, or because somebody else took possession and threw it in the trash?
Yeah, basically the outcome follows the intent of the person who lost it. So if you didn't intend to lose it, you didn't intend to get rid of it, then the ownership is going to follow, and you are the rightful owner. Even though somebody else came along and moved it and put it in the trash, and so The person that finds it thinks it's trash, but you'd have to prove that you dropped it somewhere. There's another interesting wrinkle that could have happened to this. What if the lady made the argument that really bought the $1 million? I didn't know what I was throwing away. I didn't know that I was throwing away something of value. That's a mistake. So a mistaken abandonment in some jurisdictions can undo that. Where you typically see it where the person has an old painting that they throw in the dumpster and they don't realize that it's a Van Gogh, or they have an old artifact and they don't realize that it was filled with gold coins. It's an old urn or something, and they don't realize that it was filled with gold coins. They throw it away, and somebody finds it, and they go, "Oh, wow, I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. I didn't mean to throw away that thing of value." So that is an argument that could have gotten her out of it.
Because this lady did say that she thought the ticket was worthless. So in her mind, it's worthless. Right. So she didn't realize it was $1 million.
But she intended to throw it away.
But she said the wrinkle. So, but could she get out on that? Because the wrinkle would be she thought it was of no value.
That would be depending on what a judge thought about her intent, and I think she intended to get rid of it, and she was careless not to scratch off that last little bubble. And I think clearly these people could have gotten away with keeping this. Even if she had some legal argument, she never knew that she had this legal argument.
Yeah, she wouldn't even have known that it was her ticket.
No, never.
She would have
no way.
Did she give any money to these people?
They just did something really nice.
Was there any reward?
I haven't read. I looked for that. All the stories this morning. I was looking for that. I haven't seen where she's done that, but I hope she does.
I would.
They did a really nice thing.
Pissed.
Yeah. Well, the store does get a percentage. They get some sort of reward,
but not
that much. Now, Jason, let's say that you got $1 million. I found your $1 million ticket in the trash, and I gave it back to you, and and I said, "Hey, dude, you threw this away, but it's worth $1 million. How much would you give me or Squid? How much would you give us?"
I would definitely give money back. If you really did that, I would probably give you $100,000.
Wow.
Squid, I would give about 1,000 because he's already.
You got to remember you got to remember that they tax this. They tax this so heavily. Most people only end up seeing about 50% of the win in actual. They tax it so heavily. They actually get. So you win $1 million. You might get 500,000 or 600,000 out of it because they tax it. So
Lisa, why are you trying to take my money away? You're trying to take it away.
Well, that is
exactly.
a good point. I would get it so that for like 10% of the money.
Okay.
Squid, I would give left because Squid already said that even if Dogecoin goes up to like $300 a pop and he makes like $50 million, he wouldn't give us any money.
None.
Well, because I told you. I told you that Dogecoin was a scratch-off ticket. I told you there was $1 million scratch-off ticket, and you should have scratched it off, but you chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You threw it in the trash. You threw it in the trash.
We let you go on the air and promote Dogecoin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
But-
pretty
but
irresponsible
It
of us.
doesn't matter.
Jason-
We're all living a lifestyle. That's Squid. That's like getting a nickel and throwing it at me and saying, "Oh, thank you, Squid, for changing my life forever."
Yeah.
I'm saying that we would all do that here, and you wouldn't do that.
But listen, at least I will go get you alcohol. Jared wouldn't. You want to reconsider that thought? Give me the 10% and give Jared.
I think he'd much rather have
$100.
$1 million than a thing of me buying him alcohol when I'm in Myrtle Beach.
I would have taken the ticket. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is greedy or not, but this is true. I would have taken the ticket out of the garbage, and I would have been like, my gosh, I would have looked up all the rules, as Lisa's saying, and I said, all right, I'm the store owner. Carol, come over here, or somebody in my family, and be like, just you claim this ticket. And I would have won and probably closed up the convenience store and took the $1 million.
Well, she's great, as always. Let me ask you this real quick, because you kind of alluded to it. I just make sure I'm clear on this, because we had a story, I don't think we got to it, but earlier in the week where somebody sold a car, then like somewhere in the car there was like $9,000.
Oh, I saw that. It was under the floor mat. A kid found thousands of dollars under the floor mat of a car that was sold to them, and they didn't realize it was there.
Yeah, and so but they already they gained ownership of the car. They owned the car at this time. Do you have to give that back, or is that? Or
I'm sure you can sue, right?
Yeah, most states will say that, whatever you inadvertently left in the car that wasn't like a part of the car. It's not like you left rims, nice rims on it or something. This is like an accident that you left something totally separate in there. In most jurisdictions, you can get that back. Some you cannot. And you find this a lot of times in the sale of real estate, and you forgot and you left your $10,000 buried in the backyard. You can usually get that back.
Okay. I did see.
But not always. Not in all states.
I did see, I think it was like a 9-year-old kid. It was like $9,000 or so. And the family that he gave it back to did give him $1,000. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it was Squid, he probably would have slapped the kid.
I had a client a few years ago who bought a car at an auction. Actually, a broker got it for at an auction. It was a really nice SUV, like a Cadillac or Escalade or something. And it turns out that it had been seized by the federal government because it was a drug dealer's car. And it turned out that there was cocaine all packed into the sides of the car, like the interior sides of the car. And the problem for her was that they ended up taking possession of the car as evidence. She'd paid for it. She was out all that money and had no car because they took it. They gave it back to her eventually, but they took it for like over a year.
Oh, geez.
As this case was going on as evidence. So they didn't realize, they thought they were just selling off the drug dealer's assets at an auction, right, at a forfeiture. But it turned out it became important evidence, and they seized it. Because there was millions of dollars of cocaine packed all in the
Oh,
water.
my God. Wow.
Yeah, I hear
Wow.
people who drive Escalades are usually criminals. Just a
You
little,
can't help
It's a rumor.
yourself.
I didn't-
obviously.
what?
You just
What-
can't.
what did I say?
All right, that's why you're not.
What did I say?
Everything you do is not what a friend does. I hope you just stay alone.
why are you upset? Do you have an Escalade, Jason? I didn't say
I
that.
don't.
Oh, okay, good. Is your wife? I actually looked at Escalade. I wanted one real bad. It's just a little bit out of my price range.
Yeah.
All right, she's great. Lisa Lanier, official attorney of Jared and Katie in the Morning. If you're ever injured on the job, contact her
Can't
right
tell
away.
You can't trust you anything though.